All right, so today we're going to be looking into a future that honestly kind of sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. Like imagine AI that doesn't just, set your alarm or whatever, but like runs your entire company. And yeah, we're talking about AI agents.
Yeah.
And from this stack of articles you sent over, it looks like they're going to be changing how we all work pretty drastically.
Yeah, and some really big names in tech are all in on this. Like, we're talking Microsoft, OpenAI, Nvidia, Anthropic. All of them are making big moves with these AI agents.
So that begs the question, I guess. Are these AI agents going to be like our coworkers with superpowers? Or are they actually going to be running the whole show? Let's dig into it.
So to see where we're going, it helps to look back at where we've already been, right? OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, they've got these 5 stages of AI development that they talk about, and it all starts with the basic chatbots that we all know. Like think early Siri or Alexa back in the day. Then we move up to AI that can reason like a human. And finally, we get to these autonomous AI agents that can actually act independently.
And how close are we to that human-level reasoning stage?
Well, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says that their newest model, O1, has already hit that point. So it's gone from just chatting to basically thinking like us.
Wow, that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it is. And it kind of paves the way for these AI agents to actually become, totally autonomous. So just imagine giving your AI access to your computer, the entire internet, even your credit card. It could book your flights, schedule your meetings, write complex emails, all without you even having to lift a finger.
Okay, so now we're talking. That's the kind of AI assistant I could get behind. But I got to admit, the thought of an AI having access to all of that is a little freaky.
It definitely is a double-edged sword. But let's focus on the positive potential here. So, for example, Microsoft is taking this idea and going all in. They're about to release a feature that'll let anyone create their own AI agent. No coding needed or anything. It's supposed to launch in November of next year.
So everyone will have their own AI employee. I'm definitely intrigued. But what will these AI agents actually be able to do?
Well, Microsoft calls them autonomous co-pilots. So they're really pushing this idea of AI as a collaborator. And they're designed to do all sorts of things, from research and emails to even handling some pretty complex business processes. So we're talking about basically giving entire workflows to AI.
That sounds like a huge change to how we think about work. So how does this all fit into the bigger picture of the future of work? Are we all going to become managers of our own AI teams?
Well, Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang seems to think so. He's predicting we'll soon have hundreds of millions of AI employees working alongside us humans who will basically be acting as their CEOs.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. And on top of that, OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman thinks that AI agents will lead to the first one-person billion-dollar company. Imagine that, your AI team and a billion-dollar company.
It's a pretty crazy concept, right? And it really shows the potential for AI to completely change how businesses work. But it's not just about the big picture either. Individual companies are also doing some pretty interesting things, stuff that could change how we use computers every single day.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So Anthropic, this company that's all about AI safety and research, they've developed an AI model called Claude. And it can actually use a computer just like a human being.
Wait, hold on. So is this AI going to be like browsing the web and watching cat videos?
Well, not exactly. Claude can control mouse click buttons type text, navigate between apps. All that stuff we do when we're on a computer, it's still early days, but the potential is insane.
So we're not just talking about AI writing code anymore. We're talking about AI running it, testing it, maybe even launching products.
Exactly. Think about all the things you do that use multiple programs. Claude could book your next vacation research, the best hiking trails, check the weather, even add it all to your calendar. And you could still be sipping your coffee.
Okay, that is next level.
Mm.
But let's be real for a minute. With AI potentially doing so much, where does that leave us humans in the workforce?
That is the million-dollar question, and it's one that a lot of people are wondering about. But before we jump to any conclusions, let's break it down a bit. I think it's easy to imagine this, dystopian future where robots just take over all the jobs. But in reality, it's probably going to be a lot more complicated than that. So instead of thinking about AI eliminating jobs altogether, let's think about how it might change them.
So you're saying that our jobs might become more about managing AI instead of us being replaced by it?
Yeah, that's one way to think about it. Think of it this way. Any job can be broken down into a bunch of different tasks, right? And some of those tasks are going to be perfect for AI, like anything that's repetitive or uses a lot of data or needs a ton of processing power. But then there are other tasks that really need those uniquely human skills.
Yeah.
Things like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence.
So the trick is to figure out which tasks are better for AI and which ones still need that human touch. It's all about balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where it gets really interesting. It's not just about AI taking over certain tasks. It's about AI actually making us better at our jobs, helping us work smarter and more efficiently.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this could actually be a good thing. So it's less about humans versus machines and more about humans and machines working together. But how can we make sure that this transition actually benefits everyone?
That's the key question. We need to focus on things like reskilling and upskilling programs so that people can learn these new ways of working. And we also need to really think about the ethical implications of all of this. We need to make sure AI is used responsibly and that it doesn't, create more inequality.
It sounds like we're on the edge of a pretty huge societal shift. But I got to be honest, all this talk about AI taking over tasks, it's making me a little worried about my own job security.
I get that, and it's a valid concern. But I think it's important to remember that, throughout history, new technology has always disrupted the job market. The printing press, the automobile, the computer, all these innovations, they caused job losses in the short term. But they also created a ton of new opportunities in the long run.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't be afraid of change. We should try to embrace it and adapt. But how do we do that? How do we get ready for a future where AI is such a big part of the workforce?
That's where lifelong learning comes in. The jobs of the future are going to require us to constantly be learning and adapting and developing new skills to stay relevant. And it's not just about technical skills either. It's about honing those uniquely human skills that AI can't replicate.
Like creativity, communication, and collaboration.
Exactly. Those are the skills that will make us stand out in a world powered by AI. And the good news is we already have a lot of those skills. It's about nurturing them, getting better at them, and finding new ways to use them.
So it's not about becoming obsolete. It's about becoming even more human.
That's a great way to put it. And it brings up another important point. We have to be proactive in shaping the future of work. We can't just sit back and let technology dictate how we live and work. We need to be part of the conversation, asking tough questions and demanding that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
That's a powerful message. It's not just about adapting to change. It's about actually shaping it. But let's get a little more concrete for a second. We've been talking about the potential of AI agents in a pretty theoretical way. Are there any real-world examples of this technology actually being used?
Oh, absolutely. We're already seeing AI agents doing some pretty cool things in a bunch of different industries, from customer service to healthcare to finance. Like, for example, in customer service, AI-powered chatbots are getting really good. They can handle some pretty complex questions and solve problems, all without needing a human to step in.
So no more getting stuck in chatbot hell and having to repeat, talk to a human a million times. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But can AI really provide the same level of personalized service as a human?
That's a good question. AI has made huge progress with natural language processing and understanding emotions, but it's still not quite there when it comes to replicating that human empathy and understanding.
So there's still some things that AI just can't do, at least not yet. But what about other industries? You mentioned healthcare and finance. How are AI agents being used there?
So in healthcare, AI agents are being used to help doctors with diagnoses. They can analyze medical images and personalize treatment plans. And they're also playing a bigger and bigger role in discovering and developing new drugs. And then in finance, AI agents are helping financial advisors manage investments. And they can detect fraud and assess risk.
It sounds like AI agents are already having a pretty big impact across a lot of different areas. But what about their potential to not just change how we work, but also how we live? Could these AI assistants become part of our daily lives, like helping us with everything from managing our homes to improving our health?
That's where things get really exciting. The potential for AI to make our personal lives better is huge. Imagine a world where your AI assistant helps you plan meals, manage your schedule, book your travel, even gives you personalized health advice.
It sounds like something out of a movie. But it also sounds like we'd be giving up a lot of control to AI. What about privacy? If our AI assistants are managing so much of our lives, won't they have access to a ton of our personal information?
That's a really important point. As we start using AI more and more in our lives, data privacy and security are going to become even more crucial. We have to make sure these systems are designed to protect our personal information and prevent it from being misused. It's all about finding that balance between convenience and control.
So it's not just about what AI can do, it's about how we choose to use it and the values that we build into it.
Exactly. And that brings us back to how important human agency is in this future with AI. We need to be thoughtful about how we develop and use AI, making sure that it aligns with our values and that it benefits humanity.
It's a really complicated and constantly changing situation. But from everything we've talked about today, it seems like the future of work with AI isn't about robots stealing our jobs. It's more about finding new ways for humans and AI to work together.
I agree. It's about recognizing what humans and AI are each good at and figuring out how to use those strengths to build a better future of work, one that's more productive, more fulfilling, and more meaningful.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dives into the world of AI agents.
Yeah, it really feels like we're at this turning point. The decisions we make now about how we develop and use AI are going to have a huge impact on the future of work and, society in general.
Totally. And it's easy to get caught up in all the hype and fear around AI. But at the end of the day, it's just a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use it.
That's so true. And it kind of brings us back to that question we started with. Will these AI agents be our coworkers or will they replace us?
Right. So after looking at all these different angles and possibilities, what do you think? Where is all of this headed?
Well, I think the future of work is going to be this hybrid thing, where humans and AI work together, each bringing their own unique strengths to the table. We've talked about how AI can automate tasks and process information, and even make decisions. But there are some qualities that are just inherently human, like creativity, empathy, critical thinking, that ability to connect with other people on a deeper level.
Yeah, those are things that make us human. That would give our work meaning and purpose. So it's not about being afraid of AI. It's about figuring out how to use it to make us better, to create a more fulfilling work experience.
Exactly. I think that's where the real opportunity is. Instead of seeing AI as this threat, we should think about it as something that can empower us. To do more, to achieve more, to just be more.
So instead of asking, will AI take my job? Maybe the question should be, how can AI help me do my job better? Or even, how can AI help me create a job that doesn't even exist yet?
That's such a good way to look at it. And it shows how important it is to be adaptable, to be open to new possibilities, to always be learning and growing.
It's about having that growth mindset, not just about our skills and knowledge, but also about how we think about work itself.
Exactly. The future of work isn't set in stone. It's something that we're actively creating. And that's both exciting and empowering.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I'd say this. Don't be afraid of the future of work with AI. Embrace it. It's a chance to completely rethink what work can be, to unlock our full potential, and to create a future where humans and AI work together to build a better world.
That's a powerful message. And to everyone listening out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those tough questions. The future of work is in our hands, and it's up to all of us to make sure it's a good one. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.